It is 6:02 a.m. I can see 3/4 of the moon in the sky. Clear skies, the mountains in the distance, and the sun rising over there, painting the sky pinkish orange and blue. And there's a little bit of mountain fog here this morning. But this is the start of the day, and it's going to be a beautiful day, just like it was a beautiful day the first morning I worked out here 2 weeks ago. It's only fitting for the day before last that we have another wonderful day, and we've seen everything. We've seen clouds, we've seen rain, we've seen thunderstorms, and we've seen sun. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by and saying hello. It's going to be an easy morning this morning, as I am only going to be doing mobility. Borislav, good morning. Good to see you this morning. I'm doing all right. I have my coffee right here. I am enjoying this morning, and I'm going to be taking it easy. Just some mobility this morning. Not a lot of conditioning and strength training, because I did a lot this week. I need a day of a break. Yeah, I've been all right. How about you? How are you doing? I hope everything's all right for you in California, that you're having a start of the day, and thanks for dropping by and being interested. How's your week been? I hope you've had a good week, and I think it is Thursday night where you're at right now. Is that correct? So I hope your Thursday was good, and that you have a great Friday and a great weekend to look ahead to. And I appreciate you dropping by here and joining me this morning for my workout and my start of the day, which this is just really nice and really good. And an amazing place to be, and I have been for the last 2 weeks. What can I say? Is it chilly? Slightly, but I take cold showers every morning. So, I mean, cold is cold. But it's not painful, or it's not going to make me sick or kill me. Yeah, well, you're very welcome. And to all 4 of you watching, thanks for dropping by on my stream this morning. I'm going to start my mobility in a minute or two. It's 6:05 a.m. I'm just enjoying my morning coffee and taking in the view and the sunshine and the sunrise at the start of this Friday for me, which marks the end of the week and also almost the end of the holiday, which means we'll be going back to reality. If you want to drop me a message in the chat, just go ahead and say hello. Leave me a thumbs up, and if you're interested in what I'm doing here, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, watch some videos, I'd appreciate the support. I talk about living an active, self-sufficient, adventurous life, if that's something you're interested in, and every morning I'm here doing my home routine workout, which is mobility, strength, conditioning. I also always say we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So that's why I'm here every morning, showing up and doing the work. Let's see who else left us a message this morning. Hey, Johnny. Looks like a nice day there. Been cloudy for a while. Hey, Johnny. So good to see you. I was wondering if you were, because I shifted the time of the stream to later. Glad to hear you're here. Cloudy for a few days in the morning, which was fine as well. We had thunderstorm Monday and Tuesday, but that was all good. But mostly it's been like this, and it's been like 27, 28, 29 degrees in the mountains, hiking on mountain trails, and they have huge parks here, playgrounds for kids, which when you have 2 kids is amazing, because you play, you put them in the carrier, and you hike on. So we've been doing a lot of walking up and down the mountain. It's been really easy to hit my activity targets for the day, but I still chose to continue doing my workouts here. Anyway, Johnny, I hope you're doing well. Eve Civi, hello. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. What brings you to my channel, and what brings you to the stream? I hope there's something here for you. Boris, thanks for the support, Slav. I really appreciate it. I'm also at the end of my morning coffee, which means that I'm going to get started with the mobility workout. Tween. Bro, can't spell my name. I'm really sorry. Let me give it a try. Eves Sevi. Did I get it right this time? And I didn't mean any insult or anything. I just sometimes have a hard time with names and pronunciations, but I hope I got that right. I appreciate you saying hi this morning very much, and thanks for being active on the chat and for being interested in what we're doing here. Now, setting down my cup of coffee and taking in that view one more time, we are going to get started. Just some light mobility, stretching, nothing too intense this morning, because my body is telling me that it wants a break. And how do I know that? Well, I was very tired yesterday when I went to bed, for one. So that's one way of knowing. Tired in a good way, by the way. There's being tired in a bad way, and there's being tired in a good way. This was being tired in a good way, as in I felt I really needed sleep, and by 8 p.m. I was actually sleeping soundly, and I woke up at 4:45 this morning, so that was a nice night of sleep. But I also feel my muscles complaining, as in telling me, dude, we want a break, give us a rest, which is what I will give them. I 100% appreciate that, and thanks for the compliment. I also appreciate that. Philippines. Is the Philippines that you're dialing in from? That's really cool. I've always wanted to visit the Philippines. I'm very curious what it's like there. I hear it's very beautiful and a wonderful country, and the Filipinos that I have met in my life have always been wonderful, friendly people, actually. So yeah, like I was saying, my body was telling me to take it easy, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it nice and easy and slow. Just take our time this morning as we start our mobility routine. And as we do that, also just think about everything the holiday has offered and everything that life has offered me in the last 40 years, as well as thinking about everything that life is still going to offer in the next 60 years or so, at least. That is what I hope. We're not in a rush this morning. The timer is just to help me keep track of the duration of certain stretches and movements. There's no need to feel compelled by it at all, and just do our own thing, because this is all about feeling good in our body and having the freedom to move the way we want to move, when we want to move, how we want to move. Do some breathing. And as we're doing that, we're also going to work on our neck mobility slightly. And then we do the famous W. By the way, I am still going to have to look into the mobility of my left shoulder. It's gotten better over the 2 weeks here, which is good. With all of these little musculoskeletal things, they tend to get better over time. Also, the body adapts. But I'm still worried about the slight lack of mobility on that side and the hindrance I have, for example, trying to put on a backpack, sticking my arm backwards just isn't as easy and as comfortable as it should be. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but this is just something that if we can fix it, we should. By the way, picking the pears out of the tree just feels really good. I'm just going to do it a bit longer. There we go. All right. Now, back to the work on the floor. Start off also with the hip mobility to do a rocker, which simply means rocking forward and backwards. Which, by the way, if I were to be doing this vertically, would be the motion of a squat. Anyway, it's very nice to be out here this morning with you, watching and chatting with me. I appreciate that. If you're interested in what I'm doing, do go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like the stream, leave a comment here, and we can have a conversation about life, about health, well-being, strength and conditioning, careers, family, being a father and being a man in today's world. There are a lot of different topics that are worth exploring and discussing. in the world we live in today. And we have amazing opportunities available to us in life. We shouldn't forget how fortunate we are. I think one of the things, personal story from my life, is that I was born in the Netherlands to a Tanzanian mother and a Dutch father, which is why people think that I am Greek or Italian or Spanish when I'm in the south of Europe, but I'm actually half Tanzanian. But had I been born in Tanzania instead of in the Netherlands, my life would have been very different. So whenever people say that it is up to you, and if you're not successful, then it's your own fault, and you haven't accomplished anything because you are lazy, or, there's something innately wrong with you and the level of your ambition, I always think, well, that's easy to say if you've been born into a time and place and country and family where you had a lot of economic opportunity. Whereas if you weren't, maybe it's not that there's anything wrong with you, it's just that the time and circumstance that you find yourself in don't allow you to do all of the things that you are capable of. And this is very possible. Doesn't mean you have to be miserable or unhappy. It just means that a lot of your opportunities are shaped by your environment. And, well, if you listen to what Scott Galloway, for example, recently said about moving to big cities and being good in a place with a lot of opportunity instead of being great in a place with little opportunity, you'll understand the truth in that. Because circumstances matter, and if you are in a place where you have a lot of opportunity, you're more likely to do better or be better off just because of the environment that you're in. So just keep that in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. Do your best and understand where you are in life and how that's going to influence what it is that you are capable of doing. And then you have the opportunity to stay or to move locations. And either is fine, as long as you are aware of making a conscious effort to do either staying or moving to a place with different opportunities. You can be happy, content, satisfied just about anywhere in life, as long as some basic conditions are met. You have food, drink, shelter, place to sleep, and you feel like you are in control of what happens in your life. You feel like you can belong to a certain group or community that you're a part of, and you feel that you are competent at something or some things and good at them. And that could be work, that could be a pursuit, that could be one of many different things. I think the most important thing is just for you to be calm and content with where you are in life and take things one step at a time, because you'll find that small steps today lead to big leaps in the future. It's important to keep that in mind. Life's a marathon, not a sprint. Even though when I was younger, I believed everything was a sprint. So I told myself I would be a big loser if I wasn't a millionaire before I was 30. Well, turns out I didn't become a millionaire when I was 30. I was hugely in debt when I was 30. And it took me 10 years to turn that around, which I did successfully. Not that I'm a millionaire right now, but I'm a lot better off than I was. And I'm capable of creating and providing for my family and doing a lot of the things that I enjoy doing in life and enjoy pursuing in my own time and in my own way. And I can tell you, I'm a lot happier and a lot more centered and a lot more living in line with my values and principles. As a person compared to 15 years ago. And I think that's also fine. Some people figure out their principles and values by the time they're 15. Some people by the time they're 25. Some people by the time they're 35. Some people by the time they're 50. And some people never. So life is an experience. And you just need to remember that and make sure that you are having a good experience on your terms, in your way. And this is not always easy to do, but you can do it. Small steps, little things. One of the most important ones for me has always been not only keeping agreements I make with myself, but also being aware of making realistic agreements with myself. Right? And it comes back again to where we started the conversation about context and where we are, the situation we find ourselves in, that when it comes to life and living, we sometimes have unrealistic expectations of ourselves given of what we're capable of today. Doesn't mean we won't be capable of it 12 months from now or 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And based on that context and understanding, creating realistic expectations, plans, goals for the next day, week, month, and year. So you just need to keep that in mind as you go through life, whatever age or stage you're in. Understand where you stand today and what you're capable of. Have a good grasp or idea of where you want to go. And then every day, just like this mobility, strength, and conditioning workout, just chip away a little bit at that goal and at that challenge. And with your day to day. Oh, I have some challenges on the hip mobility. You see that? Something that needs to be worked on with some regularity. But the goal is to be able to use those hips for an extended period of time, which is my lifetime, and to use them well. I see you've been quite active on the chat. I'll be over to read in a minute and respond to what you've told me. And I honestly very much appreciate you dropping by here with me this morning in the mountains. And it's such a shame that come tomorrow morning we'll be leaving again. And come Monday morning, we're back to the home studio in my kitchen, which has a very different background and view. Maybe I should paint the wall with an image of these mountains for all of our benefit. What do you think? That might be a good idea. We're not done yet. We're still going to keep going. Yeah, the milk or without it? Yeah. Thanks, Borislav. No, I drink my coffee black. I try not to drink too many calories, except on very intense active days. Because at my age, it's very easy to overconsume calories, I can tell you. and 6:35 in the morning. We've been nicely stretching for about 30 minutes, working on our mobility, which is an integral part of living vitally and free. So just keep that in mind. Just going to add in 2 more stretches. I would love to get back to working on my shoulder mobility. However, I have to wait and see what the physiotherapist has to say about that before trying anything new. The goal of training, one of the principles, is to not get injured. So I know from experience that getting injured means not training for 4 to 8 weeks. I had a neck hernia earlier this year, and not being able to train for 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, just is a downer, both mentally and physically. And there we go. I will just, for the sake of it, do McGill's Big 3 core exercises, and then we're going to call it a good start of the day. And let's just take a minute to relax and to enjoy the sunrise and the view. And that's going to be it for this morning. So we have a nice and active day of walking ahead of us. It's just nice to sit here and listen to the birds sing. Appreciate the silence and the calm only mountains have, standing tall and proud, peacefully unmoving, as they have been for millions of years. And they probably will still be standing here long after we're gone. Maybe that's why I've been so calm and zen for the last 2 weeks, as some of you have noticed in the chat. Peaceful and quiet. And if you ever want to experience silence, coming to a place like this, where there is true quiet on top of a mountain, definitely worth your time. It's been worth my time, for sure. What a wonderful day, friends, and what a great start of the day. Thank you for dropping by, for spending this time with me this morning. I really appreciate that. Like I say, I train for living an active, self-sufficient, adventurous life. So if there's something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Talk about my health, my strength, fitness training, kettlebells, being a father, being a man in this world, my career, and life in general. So, if you want to talk about that more, go ahead. I'd love to be on this journey together with you. I always say we're good just the way we are. We have got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. Johnny, thanks. I appreciate that. It has been, and I'm going to sit tomorrow morning, last morning here before we drive back home. Thanks for coming along. What can I say? It's always good to be on a journey with people that are interested in the same things. Like I always say, the only way to get anything done is to show up and do the work. And that's why I'll see you all tomorrow. Great night, evening, morning, day, every world, friends. Take care and see you tomorrow.